Gold has long been considered a reliable hedge against inflation, making it a preferred choice for investors seeking stability. Interest in the yellow metal has an investment option and it is growing constantly. NewsX is bringing you the latest gold prices in India. The price of gold in India today is rupees 13,100 per gram for 24 carat gold. The price is rupees 12,009 rupees per gram for 22 carat gold and rupees 9,828 per gram for 18 carat gold. Now let's have a look at the prices as compared to the ones from yesterday, last week and last year. So on your screens, viewers, now we will see how the gold prices per gram have been today versus yesterday. On October 20th, which is today, it stood at 13,124 carat gold. On 19th October, which is yesterday, it stood at 12,700. So we are seeing a 400 rupees increase. 22 carat gold stood at 12,009 rupees today, and yesterday it stood at 12,095. So this has seen a slight dip. However, 18 carat gold stood at 9,829 rupees and yesterday it was at 9,229 rupees. So clearly on your screens you can see how there has been a very slight increase or decrease. Now let's look at the gold prices per gram today versus last week. Last week the gold prices stood at 12,520 for 24 carat gold. And 22 carat gold stood at 11,477. 18 carat gold stood at 9,390 rupees. So clearly you can see that there has been a slight increase in the gold prices. We also saw fervent buying on Dhanteras given that it is Diwali, and we do expect people to invest in it further. Now when we compare it to last month gold prices, 24 carat gold on September 20th stood at 11,250. 22 carat gold stood at 10,313 rupees, while 18 carat gold stood at 8,438 rupees. And you can see almost 1,000 rupees increase in all of these 24, 22 and 18 carat gold prices as compared to last month. Now when we look at last year, when we compare it to today's prices, if we see that last year the gold prices actually stood at 6,420 rupees. So clearly almost a double increase for 24 carat. 22 carat was at 5,885 rupees and today it stands at 12,009 rupees. So clearly a big jump as compared to last year. Also 18 carat gold stood at 4,815 rupees and today it's almost touching 10,000. So we can see that it's 9,828. Clearly gold prices are seeing a great rally going forward. And today is Diwali. We saw on Dhanteras there was a lot of buying of gold, and we'll see how this actually pans out going forward. Joining me on the broadcast is Dr. Sharath Kohli, senior economist. He will help explain to our viewers why this rally actually continues and how it will fare going forward. Dr. Kohli, thank you for joining us. A very good morning to you and a happy Deepavali. I want to understand, how do you see this gold rally given that Dhanteras was a day before and we don't see a very big increase. However, there has been slight increase in the prices.
Good morning, Shivani. A very happy Diwali to you and the NewsX viewers. Yes, we've been seeing some volatility in the gold prices over the last 2-3 days. And some of the reasons are global. Dhanteras, of course, is within India. We see some fluctuation because of that. But more importantly, this was because of global reasons, because there was expected to be some truce between China and America on the trade war. And President Trump has agreed to meeting President Xi Jinping in South Korea. So that led to some expectations that the trade war or the economic uncertainty emerging out of that trade war can probably settle down if this meeting is successful, although all that is a speculation as of now. And the US has sort of backed out, it has pushed back from the aggressive stance it was showing with regard to China on imposing 100% tariffs, because it knows that China has control of some very important imports which America does. So that led to, plus I think the negative news was that Israel Hamas ceasefire seems to be cracking. A lot of people have been killed. Once again, IDF has bombed Gaza because some of the Hamas fighters were showing aggression. They were firing at the Israeli troops and so on and so forth. So I think that truce, which was very publicized in Egypt in Sharm el Sheikh meeting, it seems to be cracking up. So we don't know the future. So this was the news on the other side, which led to a geopolitical uncertainty. And then, of course, then there was a meeting between President Zelensky and President Trump at the, and all these factors, why people must be wondering why I'm talking of gold prices and all these stuff, because these are the things which impact the movement of gold prices up and down. So the meeting between President Zelensky and President Trump didn't go off very well. I'm told from the sources that he threw off a map, and something happened where he said you have to surrender Donetsk to Russia, otherwise he's going to destroy you. So he wanted Tomahawk missiles, which President Trump refused. President Trump echoed the voice of President Putin. So it's all I would say a confusion right now. No very certain direction is visible. So the gold prices are hovering around $42, $50. We measure in dollars because that's where the price is open from. I usually do not track because Indian rupees is just a conversion from ounce to 10 grams and from the US dollar prices at COMEX to the Indian prices here. So I think the prices have recovered a little bit, but the real impact will be known in the next 2-3 days as the markets open, because over the weekend the markets were closed, partly in India and in America as well. But the basic trend is upwards, because I do not see any of the geo-economic uncertainty settling down or the geopolitical situation improving drastically where everything is peaceful. So until unless that happens, I don't see gold prices sinking. Little bit of these corrections, I think, provide a good opportunity for investors to step in. The people who look for corrections, it's a good time for them to park smaller amounts and buy at these corrections. The long-term trend is still very bullish, Shivani.
But how do you see the geopolitical scenario, since you also mentioned the Hamas-Gaza treaty, seeing cracks? Do you think there might be a further dip in the prices, or do you see it increasing only further?
Well, as I said, mid to long-term trend is upwards. I do not see them, dipping too much. These minor corrections, as the dialogues go on here and there, and you see some hope of truce, the price is correct. When the hope falls, the price starts rising. Well, gold follows normally news flow, because it is, as I said, it's dependent on geo-economic and geopolitical uncertainty. If there is a Fed rate cut later, the Federal Reserve of America, if they do a rate cut again, there'll be a price rise. So in short term, small corrections would be there, but in the longer and mid term, when I say mid term, I mean 3 months to 1 year. The prices still look very bullish. They will go up. So investors are advised to keep about 20% of their portfolio in gold and through ETFs or bars or coins, whatever they want to, definitely not jewelry. And they can probably look for long-term gains, and they should stay invested for long-term. I think we should primarily focus, Shivani, on the people who want to invest for long-term. See, short-term is trading, short-term is speculation. To track the prices twice a day, thrice a day, or every day, it's fine as far as your own information is concerned and news dispensation on part of your channel is concerned. But for investors, I think what matters is the long-term trend, which I think is very much bullish at this point of time. Shivani.
All right.